Hello world! Join me on my first ever adventure in Malta as I explore all the must-knows and must-visits. Malta is one of the smallest countries in the world. It's located in the Mediterranean Sea between Sicily and North Africa. While it is small, it is compacted, filled with so much culture, so much history, and amazing food. If you're planning on a trip to Malta, make sure you watch this video to get a good idea for first-timers. One of the top questions asked is if Malta can be visited in just 3 days. Before we get into it, here are some facts and some of my experiences while visiting. So where are we?
We are in Malta.
We're in Malta. Honestly, Malta is by far one of my favorite and underrated destinations. It is a beautiful and unique country. Did you know that Malta is not just one island, but 7 small islets? However, only 3 main islands are inhabitable: Malta, Gozo, and Comino. Collectively, Malta can fit into the states at least 30,400 times. That's how small it is. Let's start with the most visited part of Malta, Valletta. It's a 15-minute drive from the airport. Travelers like myself will find rich history and religious attractions just by walking in Malta's capital, Valletta, a UNESCO World Heritage Site and the European Capital Culture of 2018. It's a walkable city and easy to navigate on foot. Valletta is linked to the history of the military and charitable order of St. John of Jerusalem. The capital has 320 monuments, all within 136 acres, making it one of the most concentrated historic areas in the world. It is an effective open-air museum with Baroque architecture and various monuments mixed with modern buildings. The city is truly a unique gem. Whether it is the artwork on the walls, the colorful doors, the decorative Maltese balconies, you'll find yourself just in awe of the extraordinary beauty of this Renaissance city. Malta is relatively affordable compared to other European destinations, so your money will go a long way. However, it is getting quite expensive in some of the touristy areas like Valletta, so expect to pay more if you're planning to stay here in the capital. And on this day, September 27, 2024, we happened to witness the annual Malta International End of Summer Festival. I personally loved staying in the capital because everything that I wanted to do was in close proximity. It is Friday night.
Yeah, it looks right on the street.
8:33. It looks like it's like the crowd is out. Like a whole ass different vibe.
What's crazy about this is that it's like so bright. You could pass for like daytime.
Alright, let's talk about the nightlife in Valletta. Today, nights in Valletta is young and ravishing. Whether you're up for a nice classy dinner or for a casual beer, you'll find many options to your liking, from Latin bars to karaoke cafes to Irish pubs. You'll end up in another gem you thought it was your last. Unplanned, we followed the lively sounds down the streets and ended up in what they call the Gut on Straight Street. What was once a red light district with sailors' bars is now a popular place to have a drink and mingle. Visitors can stroll along its narrow streets just admiring a piece of Valletta's history and culture. The city is one of the best spots on the island for a great night.
Poppin', that shit was poppin', pop.
Take a day trip to Comino Island. We reserved a boat ride to pick us up early in the morning and dropped us off at Zirkiwa Ferry Terminal, which took about 45 minutes. Comino is located between the main island Malta and Gozo. Comino, Gozo. We booked a private tour through Valletta, which I highly recommend if your budget allows you to, and if you want the freedom to explore the island however you want. This tour cost us $174 in comparison to cheaper options with a group. The island is known for the famous Blue Lagoon with its crystal clear and blue-colored water. It is best visited during off-season between July and September to avoid the crowds and the scorching summer sun. September's weather was perfect for us. Comino Island is definitely a must-see while in Malta. You can also make a day trip to Gozo, the second largest of the 3 inhabited Maltese islands. Many people suggest to stay here for at least a day to explore what the island offers, like snorkeling, scuba diving, and their beautiful beaches. It is known for their Duera Inland Sea, the Citadel in Victoria, and the megalithic temples. Gozo was also known for the Azure Arch, the world-famous Azure window of Malta, that unfortunately had collapsed during a storm. It was famously featured in Game of Thrones when Daenerys Targaryen wed to Khal Drogo. You can easily spend 2 days here to explore it at your own pace, and of course, if your schedule and budget allows you to do so. If you're planning a trip to Malta, make sure Mdina is on that itinerary. Located just 20 minutes from the airport, it can be accessed by day or by night. It lies on a hilltop. Greeting you at the entrance is the Mdina main gate, the grand entrance. Mdina was nicknamed the Silent City due to its eerily quiet and empty walled city. But this small place is full of narrow alleys with stone walls rising up on each side. Given its small size and how windy and narrow the alleyways are, the city is easy to navigate. You will get lost, but not to the point where you can't find your way back after a few turns. It is advisable to wear sturdy walking shoes and on hot summer days, layer up with light clothing. It is evident that Mdina, a picturesque city, so get your cameras out. The doors stand out vibrantly against the soft sandstone walls. The bright colorful floors line across the walls, making the city look less creepy and more pretty. Each walkway has its own personality. When we left Mdina, there's a popular hole-in-the-wall restaurant across the street from the medieval gates of Mdina. The Crystal Palace is known for their crumbly filling croissant called pastizzi. The common fillings are ricotta cheese and peas, which I recommend. There's just so much to explore in Malta, and if you're wondering if you can visit this country in just 3 days, you can. You just have to plan and budget accordingly. Only you know what you want to do when you get here. It's your own personal itinerary, so make it yours. If you do have a couple more days, check out the Marsaxlokk open market. It is a small traditional fishing village in the southeastern region of Malta. It's open from Tuesday to Sunday, 8:30 to 2 p.m. Sundays are best visited, so get there early for locally caught fresh fish and seafood. They also have rows of shops where you can buy cheap souvenirs. It can get a bit crowded and overwhelming, so be prepared. We enjoyed just walking around, finding a hat for myself to block out the soon-to-be scorching sun.
I'm okay, I'm feeling great.
There are many other popular locations in Malta, like the Popeye Village. Although most locals feel like it's too long of a drive for what you're going to see, you can visit nearby attractions to watch the sunset. It was famous for the musical production Popeye back in 1980. If you're interested, I'd recommend planning ahead for travel time. If you'd like to reserve a short time to see a cannon get fired, then make sure you head to the Saluting Battery in Valletta. It gets set off twice a day at 12 p.m. and 4 p.m. Monday through Saturday. We actually got lost looking for the location. One of our challenges was trying to find certain locations using Google Maps. Plan ahead in case you get lost like we did. You don't want to walk up and down these pathways, losing your breath and energy. We almost missed the cannon fire, but we got here at 3:59. I recommend buying a ticket for €3 and seeing it up close. Also, don't forget hearing protection. $3.59.
Perfect.
Ooh, I'm glad I have this on.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I hope the cannon is loud enough for you. Sorry about the smoke on your side. A big round of applause, please, for our guest today, Ryan.
You want me to take a picture of you guys? Picture of you guys? No? Okay.
No smoking on the back.
Explode. Like, you smoke here, it's gonna explode! Kaboom! Makes sense. Just like smoking at a gas station. You just don't do it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'd like Sony to sponsor us for noise canceling.
This definitely helps. Another tip I'd like to mention is, before you go to Malta, I recommend watching movies that were filmed in Malta, like The Gladiator, Game of Thrones, Troy. You have a long list to choose from. It's a fun way to familiarize the country you're going to visit and have a fun scavenging hunt for the locations that were used on set. Alright, as always, thanks for taking the time to watch this, and feel free to leave any questions or comments down below.
Did you smell it? Hi, partner.